Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's Report. Say welcome to the Warden Report. Look, I'm not even in there. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Warden Report. And I'm just going to show what I eat for the week. I'm going to rant about something. And who knows what else. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end. Because we do have a little announcement. So I want you to see that. And say hello, everybody. Come here. Say hi. Look, here's the stars. Here's the stars of the show. There you go. There's Delilah. And there's Sam. Say hi, Sam. Look, over here. There you go. All right, thank y'all. Wednesday lunch. Guess what? Got it again. Got a ham. You see the little bone in there. So I got, should be still about 4 ounces. 2 slices of thick bacon. 5 tablespoons of mayo, and then I put in hot sauce and chamoy, and then I'm going to have a few of these. Look, y'all, can't believe it. We just got this on Saturday, and they're halfway gone. We might have to get some more at Aldi this Friday. I do love the garlic, but I love garlic. Who else loves garlic? Comment below. Wednesday dinner. Look at this wonderful plate here. So I've got about 4 ounces of ribeye, and then the topping I made is the scorched tomatoes and bacon, all done with the butter that I based the steak in, the butter and olive oil mix, and then poured that all on top. So you see it filled my whole plate. There's again how you get your fat in, don't get rid of it. And then I've got several peppers here and a couple of mushrooms stuffed with goat cheese. And this is the final, look how tiny this is, the final teeny tiny avocado. I mean, it's like, those are those mini peppers and it's not much bigger than that, but hey, you get what you get, right? And then for drinks, I've got my topo for dinner and then just my regular water there. And that's everything, y'all. Thursday lunch, and I've got 4 Purnell's sausages, the natural ones. I've got, I think about 5, maybe 6 tablespoons of mayo, some of those blue cheese stuffed olives, and then I've got our MCT hot sauce, and then I've got some of that low chamoy. And then, now if you don't like curse words, close your eyes for a second, and then I've got my last cup of coffee here. I did do it with butter today. I have to say, between the butter and the oil, I think I really enjoy the butter better. It just seems creamier. Sometimes the coconut oil does have more of an oily texture to it, especially when I'm like reheating a cup. Like if I do it fresh, it doesn't. But if I'm reheating it, it does have a little more of that oil feel or taste to it versus the butter. And then I'm enjoying my lunch with this handsome fella. Do y'all know who that is?
Just some dude.
Well, yeah. Oh. Thursday night dinner. We've got guac with the chicharrones. We've got queso loco with chicharrones. And we're at our favorite Tex-Mex joint for dinner tonight. For dinner, we've got beef fajitas for 2. And we did get our whipped butter. And then these are the veggies, and I got them to take out the corn, y'all. I'm so happy. No pushback tonight. And that's it. We still got, look at how much queso we still have. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, here's my little side of guacamole and cheese. So, we're good to go. That's dinner. Happy Friday, y'all. You're like, well, that doesn't look like the kitchen counter. I'm eating at my desk for today. My actual lunch period, I'm going to be helping Heath install our new microwave. So, what Heath ran through this barbecue joint, we went when they originally, they had a store location in Pearland,
And since then, this guy is like blown up, right? He's like the big chef name in Houston. And so he opened up a drive-through barbecue in the Woodlands. And it's the first time we're trying it, right? I'll give you my initial thoughts. Office. Oh, sorry, y'all. So I did add about 3 tablespoons of mayo, and it did have a little, this is their coffee barbecue sauce. I could tell there's a little bit of sugar in it, so I'm just going to probably mix just a little bit of that. I mean, look, that's maybe 2 tablespoons. It's the same size as like you get at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I add a little bit of that to the mayo. And then we've got their jalapeno cheddar sausage. The consistency, I like a fattier sausage, and I could tell this isn't as fatty. Kind of looks a little mealy, maybe. Of course, there's a jalapeno, but I did already taste part of the sausage. I mean, it's a decent sausage. It's nothing where I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to get that sausage, right? I probably wouldn't order it next time. This is their pork belly bites, or pork belly burnt ends. They are glazed with one of their sauces, so it is a little bit sweet. I'm not going to freak out over that. I mean, look what I have, about 2 ounces here of that. So, I honestly, this is the best thing, but I mean, it's freaking pork belly, y'all. Then here's their moist brisket. That's how they termed it, moist. Look at this, y'all. That is stiff as a brick. I mean, the smoke ring is really thick. And, I mean, they are nice sized slices. But, I mean, that's not moist. Look, that's almost dry. And, yeah, there's no, like, y'all saw on a corkscrew when I picked it up with the fork, that brisket was about to just completely melt away. This one, like, there's no bend to it. It is so firm. So they did not cook it to where it rendered the fat well and made it real juicy and tender, right? So it's probably one and done. I think the one advantage with his barbecue joint is, like we say here, and we've said this several times. Let me actually change the angle, y'all, so you're not having to look. As we said before, Houston and Texas in general, there's like a barbecue joint almost every corner. Like they say, it's kind of financial suicide if you open a barbecue joint or a Mexican restaurant / Tex-Mex, right? Because there's just so many. You have to really stand out. Now, can you get good barbecue? Yeah, I would say this is probably equivalent to, it's good barbecue. It's good. But if you're a Texan and a barbecue lover, there's like, good is, okay, it's Wednesday night and you really want barbecue. You ain't going to find it at a great barbecue restaurant, but you'll find some good barbecue. Like I'm talking, you might have heard of Rudy's or Dickie's, or, you know, like those type of places. They're good. Like it, yeah, you'll get a decent barbecue. You're nothing to write home about. But when you're kind of, I guess you would say, spoiled, when you've had great barbecue, it's kind of sad when you get good barbecue. Because it's like if you always drove like a Mercedes and all of a sudden you're driving like, what was it, a Pinto or whatever, those really bad cars. You're just like, well, I mean, it's getting me to point A to B, but was it worth it? And the price isn't, like, I think it's maybe $1 cheaper per pound. I would rather spend the extra $1 and get great barbecue. That corkscrew, y'all, that is just amazing. And I feel like when we cook, or when Heath rather smokes the barbecue, his turns out a little more soft, you know, tender than this looks, right? So hopefully, so I would rather have corkscrew. And like today, with it being lunch, we could have pre-ordered it from corkscrew, and then he could have went and picked it up, and it would have been so much better. I mean, they're so good. And I feel like this barbecue owner, the barbecue master, I've heard some shady things about him, right? You know how gossip is. So it's like, well, you know, some people you're like, oh, they're just such a wonderful person. I'll overlook them having mediocre food, right? Because you're like, because the owner's just amazing. But otherwise, when you hear like, oh, this person isn't the best person, it's kind of like, well, yeah, it ain't worth going there and spending that kind of money. And I feel like he has just pushed, because he got his name out there, and I guess he got a lot of investors, so he's just been opening, like he has 3 barbecue locations. He has a couple steakhouses. Now, the steakhouse we went to was pretty darn good, y'all. And I'm thinking he has something else, maybe a burger joint or something. So of course he's expanded huge, like in the last 6-7 years. Like that's a huge expansion. So even sometimes with that, when you expand so quickly, you kind of have quality issues, right? But anyhow, I'm going way too deep into my lunch today. You're like, Shelly, just show us what you ate. And I also have Dutch Bros. So it's my first Dutch Bros this week. Last night we went buy one, but we did not get it. I was like, let's just save our money and get it tomorrow. And I think I do better if I just have one of these a week, because even though it is sugar-free, y'all, it is not low carb. It's lower carb, but I think a large roughly goes from 15 to 20 total carbs. Because of like the heavy cream and the Torani syrups, they're higher in carbs. Now I know some people will be like, oh, but you know, I deduct sucralose or whatever it is. That's up to you. I always look at total carbs. So I know that, yeah, it's not, sorry, y'all, somebody was trying to call me. How dare they? So I know it's not like, it's not gonna be, it's a good treat, right? I look at it as a treat. So like if I'm gonna have a keto treat, you know, most keto treats are higher in total carbs. That's how I look at this. So like last week I had 3 of these, because I had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Like, who am I? And guess what? It showed up in the scale. My body does not like having higher total carbs several days in a row. So once in a while, it's okay, but doing it 3-4 days a week, my body's just like, whoa, what? We're eating all these carbs plus all this fat and everything. Like, wow, Shelly, what are you doing? So yeah, just things like that. And that's kind of the thing, you know, when you're doing keto for a while, you kind of start figuring out, you know, what, collecting data. You know, when we have the coach and stuff, people are like, why would you hire a coach? Just do keto, right? I mean, that was always my thought before, like, why do you need a coach? But that is the good thing about a coach, is because you start kind of dissociating yourself. Instead of being so focused on, well, I'm just doing keto, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you're able with the coach to step away and say, let me look at the whole picture here. Right? Let me look at, okay, yes, I'm doing keto. Yes, I've identified, you know, whatever maybe your issues were with keto, like, oh gosh, I was really snacking, or, oh, I notice in these certain circumstances, I kind of go off the rails, or I do this, or I do that. A coach helps you identify that, because you start, instead of living in the moment, you look at it and go, oh yeah, I've identified that's what I do. And then you work on correcting those. And then the other thing is, again, collecting data. So look at the scale not as a measurement of success or failure, right? Don't look at the scale as this determines how you're doing in life. Don't look at when you take your measurements, this is how I'm doing in life, right? Don't look at it that way. Look at it as data. So don't hold, and this is something I have struggled with, y'all. I have been right there with you where I get on the scale, because I originally told my coach, I was like, look, I can't do the scale. It mentally messes with my mind. And she's like, okay, but you got to dissociate from that. Hard words. And you really do, because then that's when you, instead of going, oh my gosh, the scale jumped, like when I ate that cauliflower that one time, it jumped 5 pounds overnight. Did I actually gain 5 pounds of fat? No. But if I wasn't like tracking, if I wasn't stepping back and looking at my overall picture, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I gained 5 pounds. Oh, my life is over. Keto's not working. What's going on, right? But instead I look back and I go, oh, that's why my scale went up. Because look, my body doesn't really like cruciferous, those type of vegetables. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so I identify that my body does not react well to that. It's like, you know, sometimes when you have gluten, or if you had gluten before, what did it do to you? Like, now, if I've had gluten, like when I've had my coach approved time off, I did not physically feel sick. Like some people physically get sick if they eat gluten and, you know, sugar and stuff. I did not. And even when I ate like the Brussels or cauliflower, I never physically felt sick. But my body reacts and goes, okay, boom, we're inflamed because we don't like what you just gave us. Like, oh, we don't know what to do with this, so we're going to hold on to some water because it seems like this is something that's going to hurt us, right? And that's why when you have a coach, and I mean, you can figure out how to do this on your own, but having somebody there to kind of be like, okay, stop focusing on the scale, where you're at on the scale, where you're at in your journey, instead figure out that's data for you. Oh yeah, look, when I have one of these every single freaking day for 3 days in a row, the scale goes up. It went up like 3 pounds, y'all. And it's like, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Am I going to punish myself for that? No, it's done and gone with. I'm not going to, look, I'm having one this week. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can never drink them again because I gained 3 pounds. No. Why did that happen? Because these are about 15 to 20 total carbs. And I did that 3 days in a row. So I go from, normally I have less than 5 total carbs a day. And those 3 days, I was probably having between 20 to 30 total carbs. Yeah, that's a huge change for my body. So what does my body do? It's like, oh, wait a second. Why are you giving us all this extra? Okay, let's just hold on to some water just to see what's going on, because we don't know why you're giving us this extra stuff here. So instead of getting upset and feeling guilty and condemning myself for that, instead I look at it in a rational way and go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? If I gave myself something totally different several days in a row, of course my body's going to react. I mean, that's normal. And that kind of hones in on when I hear people often say, oh, I feel guilty for eating that. Or, oh, you know, when you do something like that, I just feel guilty. Or, oh my gosh, I ate 5 chicken wings. I feel so guilty. And a lot of people like to throw that term around of associating feelings or emotion with food. Oh gosh, it's the holidays. Oh, I'm going to go overboard. Oh, I'm going to feel guilty because I'm eating so much. Please stop that. Stop associating guilt with food. Food is not something to be guilty over. It is not something to be shameful of. This is food. If anything, food should, of course, provide nourishment, but also food should be something that you enjoy, something that is pleasurable to you, that you're like, you know what, that tasted really good. I'm not going to lie. Why did I keep getting these? Because they tasted really good. They're very freaking delicious. So why torment myself after the fact and going, oh, see that Dutch bro, I gained 3 pounds because I drank so many of these. oh my gosh, I'm just the worst person. Like, how could I do this to myself? Instead of doing that, instead be like, you know what? I enjoyed those drinks. They tasted really good. I just realized, money-wise, in that I don't need to drink those every day. I should treat it as an actual treat. And that's fine. What's done is done. That's what happened in the past. I can't change the past. We're not hero and go back and change time. We can't do that. So don't torment something that already happened. So that goes with everything. I'm not just talking keto. So if you went to a family event, if you went on vacation, if you did anything and you were like, oh, I had XYZ, now I feel guilty, I gained weight, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. No, it's done. Accept that it's done and move forward and learn from that. Okay, what did you gain from that knowledge? Like every time I went off plan with my coach, I gained knowledge from it. I didn't look at it as, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I did this even though I said I was going to. This is what happened. No, look at it as, you know what? I enjoyed doing that. The item tasted good. Is it something I need to do all the time? No. Was it worth it at the time? I mean, I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Even Dr. Berry has said before, you know what? If you go off plan, that's fine. Do it on a special occasion, like your birthday or an anniversary. That's going to happen once or twice a year. Don't be fretting over something like that, right? Sorry, changing the angle here. And I've been talking for a while, but that's the same thing. So and identify why you went off plan. So like on those times, oh, that's a little better. On those times, that was already pre-planned. So I kind of knew what I was going to do, what I was going to get. So that was a pre-planned event. If you went off plan because it was an emotional event or was not planned, figure out why did you go off plan? What triggered that? And then instead of feeling guilt over going off plan or feeling shame that you did something like that, don't. Except just be like, you know what? This is what I did this past whatever, this Saturday. We'll just say this Saturday. Oh, I went and I ate this. Why did I do that? Oh, because, I was just having a stressful week, or I was, really upset. Something happened to my best friend, or something did this and I was upset about it, or, oh, I went and everybody else was eating it, so I just felt like I had to too. Or, oh, I was just there and I hadn't eaten all day and I was just starving, so I just kind of did it because I was just so hungry. Identify what it is. Why did you go off plan? Don't look at it from a shameful guilt perspective. Dissociate. I don't know why I can't say that. Dissociate yourself from that event. Look at it from an outside lens. Don't look at it from your emotional being. Like, why did I do this to myself? Back away from yourself. Look at what happened, the situation surrounding it, and say, okay, so I did this because of X. Okay, so in the future, when X happens, how will I handle it? Can I handle it different? Should I handle it different? And what are steps I can take to handle that differently, right? And then practice doing that. Okay, so if I go out with my friends and they all order dessert, what will I do? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll bring, a little keto treat with me and just eat that with them. Or maybe I'll say, hey, can I just share a dessert with one of y'all? And then that way you're not eating the whole thing. You're just having a bite. Or maybe you suggest to your friends, hey, why don't we, instead of each of us ordering a dessert, let's just order one and I'll share it. And then that way you're only having like 1 or 2 bites compared to the whole dessert. We have to look at keto not in, oh, what can I have to do this now and this is how it is forever. Look at it as keto is a lifestyle. So you're going to have to figure in life, there's going to be circumstances. Things are going to happen. We can't say, oh, I'm always going to be keto forever and ever. I'm never going to have anything off plan or anything that isn't considered keto. I mean, some people might happen that way, but I mean, let's just live life. I mean, 40 years, 50 years, you're saying that's never going to happen. I just seriously doubt that that's the case. And I almost say, don't live life so rigid that you would be like, oh no, I can never do that for the next 50 years. I'm never, like, that's just kind of in a way setting yourself up. Because I'm sorry, if I end up going to France, I'm going to have a freaking croissant in France. That's just the way it is. I'm going to live my life. Now, am I going to have croissants every day here at house? No. But if I'm in freaking France, yeah, I will have one. So that's what I'm saying. Don't be so rigid that you feel like you have to be extremely strict. Realize you're living life. You only have this life, y'all. Enjoy life. Don't stress over how you eat and when you eat and how you have to lose weight and do this and that and just freak yourself out, right? That's what I see a lot of times. People overly stress on how to do keto, if they're doing keto right, what if they haven't lost weight, they haven't done this or that. Just take a deep breath, and we're going to get through this. It's okay. Again, appreciate, love yourself. I say that all the time. Love who you are. Like, seriously, love who you are. Don't associate guilt or shame. Accept what you can control and figure out ways of dealing with that. And again, we're all here. We're all in this community together, so we can always reach out to one another and be like, look, I have this family function coming up, and I know every time I go to this family function, I completely go off the rails because my grandmother's making this or this and that, and I just don't know what to do. Can you help me? Ask something like that. Or, I need ideas on this. Or, I notice every time at tax season, I get so freaking stressed out with taxes that I just start snacking all day long because I'm just stressed out. Identify those, and it helps me to like write down those type of things and be like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So I hope this was helpful. I know I've been rambling for like 20 minutes, y'all, so I'm going to try to keep the rest of this pretty quick. Saturday lunch, y'all, I made us a crab chili dip, and we've got these on the side. It is for a recipe video, so you make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you see when that gets released. On this Radical Sunday, since we'll be watching Radical Geek for Coffee Talk at 5:30 Central, I was inspired and decided to make the smash burgers, which I put cheese on there to try to make like a cheese skirt. And then I've got bacon, some olives, about 3 tablespoons of mayo, plus I've got all that grease. And I used, she gave Heath for his birthday some spatulas, which are perfect because they're extra wide. And it makes it just the perfect spatula for making a smash burger. So I felt like I had Radical Geek cooking with me today. So that is today's. Oh, and I don't know if I said the olives. Those are garlic stuffed olives. And, of course, I've got my coffee with the curse word on it. But, you know, if you know, you know. And that's it. Monday lunch. And this week I meal prepped us some smash burgers. I got 1 slice of bacon, some cheddar, 4 tablespoons of mayo, a little bit of that love chamois, which we do love, and some olive tapenade, and then the rest of my coffee. Now, the coffee, he did get me some Kerrygold butter at Costco, and I know somebody, oh, I better cover that word. Somebody's going to be like, Shelly, there's PFAs in butter in the wrapper. Listen, I went for more than 40 years eating nothing but crap. I don't think the PFAs is what's going to do me in. But that's my opinion. Do you, but I really enjoy the Kerrygold butter. It does have a different flavor and makes the coffee creamier than just regular standard butter. That's my opinion. You can let me know yours. That's fine. We could all have opinions. We don't all have to agree. Monday night dinner, and we made taco bowls. So we Instant Pot a large pork butt. They were 88 cents a pound, y'all. So I've got about 4 ounces of pork butt. I have a couple tablespoons of butter. You kind of see a little bit there. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of sour cream mixed in, some jalapenos, and a little bit of red onion. And then I've also got cream cheese stuffed jalapenos and a couple mushrooms. Plus I have some guac, well, it's not guac, it's chunky avocado on the side. And that's my dinner. And have my water. And that's it, y'all. Tuesday lunch, and I've got that burger patty, a slice of bacon, and then I added a little bit of cream cheese and some olive tapenade. Plus I've got 2 tablespoons of mayo, well, more like 2.5, and some salsa, and the last of my coffee. And that's lunch with this man. I do it on purpose. Tuesday dinner, and air fried auntie / Shauna inspired me. She's been having all these skillet pizzas, so I decided that's what I was going to make. So it's got mozzarella as a base, and then I topped with some of that pulled pork we made, some jalapenos, some mushrooms, and a couple tomatoes, some green onions there, and then I swirled some barbecue sauce. So this is just that small skillet, and then I've got my topo, and that's my dinner for tonight. So that was the Warden Report. I hope y'all really enjoyed this week. Look at my little plant back there. And let me know your thoughts. What have you done this week to help increase your fat? And if you watched till this point, please go ahead and comment. Let's do luck for Luck of the Irish. Or you can write Luck of the Irish. Either way. And that brings me to an announcement. So make sure you are tuned in. So probably Friday morning, like at 9 a.m., we will be releasing a little video with some important information regarding Keto Chow. So make sure you watch for that and follow our link. So we got some good stuff in there, y'all. So, and I would just say, if you're planning on ordering Keto Chow, just wait till Friday. All right, thanks again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. Definitely leave that comment below. And I also want to say thank you to all of our channel members. Because of y'all's support, we're able to continue putting out great content like this and going to keto events and just doing things to help improve our channel. So thank y'all for that. And I will, oh, one more thing. Speaking of channel members, please be watching your emails. On Sunday, I will be sending out for the March channel member invite, and the video will post as well, just for our channel members. So every month going forward, you'll have a video released, and you'll get the invite with the recipe card. So please look for that on Sunday. If you do not get it, please reach out to me. Thank y'all again. Bye.